Okay, so I think I can start now with this presentation of the Faculty of Management of the University of Primorska. Very happy to be here. I hope you will get some useful information from this presentation. It's in English, so I hope that everyone understands it. If not, you can ask some questions at the end of the presentation. I will be more than happy to answer. So first of all, what is the University of Primorska? I don't know if you know it. It is the let's say the third youngest or the youngest public university in Slovenia, public university. And we just celebrated the 20 years of our university, and I come from the Faculty of Management, where we deal with business studies, law, administration, and things like that. So as you see from the picture, we come from a relatively small Mediterranean city called Koper. Our building is relatively new, 2-3 years old. So we're very proud to offer studies in very modern, technologically equipped classrooms and just a genuinely nice study environment. So firstly, I would like to maybe answer the question, why Koper, why come study in Slovenia, and specifically Koper? So we're quite happy to live in one of the sunniest regions of the country, next to the seaside, which offers us a lot of pastime activities, swimming in the afternoon, walking along the sea. It's very, very nice. But also there's this generally very relaxed atmosphere, which is strongly reflected in how our university also functions. We're very connected, generally have very nice interpersonal relationships, and yeah, that's it. We highly recommend Koper as a destination, if not a study destination. Okay, so then why choose our faculty? We are primarily a business faculty, and we're proud of these three things. One is preparing students for the international environment. We like to encourage our students not only to study well at home at our university, but also to go abroad, especially to Erasmus Plus exchanges. We have a very wide list of partner universities where that we promote among our students. They can spend up to 1 year at those foreign institutions and come back with even more knowledge and experience. The second thing is we are a very small university by a lot of standards. So we have quite a lot of students, but we're not the biggest. But this is very nice because we can offer students a lot of opportunities for individual development. I know this is very cliche, but you are not a number at our faculty, because most professors know most of the students, especially if you're very hardworking and active. So professors really know how to adapt the study process to their group specifically. They know their individual needs, which is very, very useful and very nice for our students. They always point this out as a plus side of studying at a slightly smaller faculty. The last reason why people generally should choose our faculty is that we try to connect students with the business environment as much as possible, as to prepare them for their future employment, connect them with their future employers. One of the ways we do that is through this internship, or we say Praksa system, where especially students that are studying in the bachelor's professional study program have mandatory internships, and then the other students can choose to do an internship. So this is one way of how we connect students to the business environment. But also we try to provide students with as many guests, so people who come from companies, government organizations. We just recently had the vice governor of the Bank of Slovenia. So we really try to incorporate these visits into class. Moreover, our professors are very experienced, each in their own field, having previously worked in these very important institutions or established companies of their own. So they have a lot of their own individual experience that they share with their students, and giving them a good insight into what the world of business or world of NGOs or whatever you're interested in really looks like. So these are some basic facts, and now let's go to maybe something more concrete. So right now, the most interesting thing are the bachelor's programs because the deadline for enrollment closes on the 27th of March, so on Monday. This is why this presentation has this first and some information about the bachelor's programs. So we have two of them. Both of them are called management. The difference is that one of them is a professional study program. The other one is academic study program. So what are the differences between these two? This is a very common question. Firstly, as you see here on the slide, the professional study program in management is performed only in Slovenian language. The academic one is in Slovenian, and then another group is performed in English. This is the first difference. Second difference is that the professional, in English, it's quite clear from the name of the program. So the professional study program is more practice-oriented, yes, so contains more practical things. Whereas the academic one is, of course, more academic, slightly more theoretical. But in both programs, professors, as I already said, still try their best to give you real-world examples and to show you what you're learning in real-world circumstances. So this is the general difference. I will explain slightly more of what we teach in these programs in the next slide. But firstly, I would just like to answer a question that we commonly get from students from basically all ex-Yugoslav countries. A lot of students actually want to study in Slovenian. This is partly due to the fact that maybe they want to go study on the professional bachelor program and we don't have an English version. Many of them want to learn Slovenian because maybe they would like to stay and later work in Slovenia as well. And they see studying in Slovenian language as one way of learning it faster. I would say students who are very dedicated and want to learn the language, learn it very quickly and have no major problems learning the language enough to finish their studies. So additionally, what we do have is this thing called Leto Plus, so additional year for foreign students studying in Slovenian language. So if you come to Slovenia, study in Slovenian, and if you don't pass in the first year, you are allowed to retake the first year again, simply because of your status as foreign student studying in Slovenian language. This is something we do to help foreign students as much as possible. You also get a Slovenian language course in the first year that you have to pass. It's nothing too difficult. It's more, it's quite basic, but very useful for you to get used to life in a new country and to learn the language and so on. So basically, if you have any fears related to the language, if you decide to pass, you will pass, right? So that's basically it. And now both study programs are content-wise very similar. They both help students gain the knowledge to organize, run, and manage businesses and other organizations, not only businesses, and also through the internship system that I have already mentioned. Both programs help students develop critical thinking and problem-solving abilities. We have a lot of teamwork, a lot of group work. So this is very important for us. The third point here is that that both of these study programs allow students to continue studying on a master's level. This is a very common question. So the professional bachelor's program is called Visokošolski. The academic is Univerzitetni, and then sometimes students are afraid that if they go to the Visokošolski one, they will not have the conditions to continue studying on a master's level. You can enroll in all of our master's programs with both of the programs. So don't take that, don't be afraid that you will lose any opportunities for the future if you choose one over the other. And maybe the most interesting thing I would say about our faculty is that not only these two study programs, but also all the master's programs are performed in quarters. What this means is that instead of your typical semester distribution of a year, where you have 2 semesters in one academic year, we divide the semester in half additionally. So we have 4 quarters. In practice, this means that you have one quarter where you take, let's say, 3 subjects. When this is over, I think it's 7 to 8 weeks, something like that. When it's over, you have the quarterly exam period. This is a week that allows you to finish all the 3 subjects you were taking in the previous quarter. So the next quarter, you start with 3 new subjects that you have never seen before, and you can kind of start fresh. This is very popular among students because it allows them to finish their obligations faster. Mostly they finish everything by June, and sometimes they even have the regular exam periods off due to these quarterly exam periods. They just finish everything in this week between the quarters, and then they're basically free. So this is very popular among students, and apparently, according to what they tell us, it helps them finish their study obligations much faster. Okay, to continue, so our webpage, I wrote it on the last slide, so you can go and check the curriculums by yourself. I don't usually like to explain it in such detail because everything is explained on the webpage. This is one example of the curriculum for the first year of the academic bachelor's program management. And here, I just put it here so you can see that the curriculum is very diverse. So it includes a lot of different subjects from a lot of different fields. So from management, of course, you have management, then you have some mathematics for management. And I think this is it in terms of management. Then you have some ICT practicum where you're learning things like how to be more efficient using like computer technology and so on. Then you have business communication and English. You have some basic law. Here on the third from below, you see legal systems and so on. So a lot of very diverse subjects all in one program, which is essentially management, right? Because management is not just economics, it's not just math, it's all of these things, soft skills, but also knowledge of finance, economics combined into one. And this is what we offer to our students. So this is just one example. As I said, the last slide has the web page, and you can go there for more information. Each of these subjects you can click and read all about it, and so on. So maybe it's not a question yet, but it might be because it's usually the question. A lot of students are very concerned about the subject mathematics for management. They're worried that their math level is not sufficient to study management or to pass this subject. And we always tell our students that we really have an excellent mathematics professor, tries his best to make it fun and for students to actually learn math. And so far, students have not had major problems. Even if you are not the best mathematician in your generation, don't take that as a reason why not to study management. Of course, it's something that you will need to pass. Same with, I don't know, finance in the second year, which is also a lot of calculation. But you don't have to be a mathematical genius to pass management classes. So this is maybe one concern that we got out of the way. And now to continue, I just briefly would like to cover the second level study programs, so on the master's level, because maybe for some people it's too soon to go study abroad after high school, but maybe when time for your master's degree comes, you might be interested in joining us. So these are the programs that we currently offer. I will explain them briefly. All of our master's programs last 2 years. And I will just maybe say one fun thing or one important thing for all of them. So the first one that we offer is management, and I wrote E in the brackets because it's the program that is performed in English as well. The program management is performed in 8 modules, which means that the first year, all the students study together. It's general management. In the second year, you decide whether you want to focus more on marketing, management of industry 4.0, entrepreneurship, business in digital environment, languages in business, financial management, or human resource management. So this is basically your choice, whatever interests you most. And as I said, first year is the same basic management for all students that are enrolled. Then secondly, we have economics and finance. This is less soft skill and more pure economics and finance for those of you who are more interested in this specifically. This program and the program political science are very interesting because they were developed with the Moscow State University Lomonosov, the best Russian public university, and the curriculum kind of reflects that. They're both quite special, and in the case of political science, students can decide whether they want to study international relations or economic diplomacy. So it's performed in 2 models as well. Then we have management of sustainable development, which is quite similar to general management, but it has more of these green transition, circular economy content, general sustainable development, which is becoming more and more important. Also very highly employable graduates. And then lastly, we have law for management. Says in the name, it's more focused on these legal content. So yeah, for those of you who are more interested in that. Okay, then if we continue, some points about the employability of our graduates. This is always a question. So basically, if you are a graduate of management, you're very widely employable. There is not one single career path that you can go down. So it's primarily middle management or management of different companies, but also in different positions within a company. Then our graduates can also work as experts. This is what was supposed to be written here, in the fields of marketing, HR management, accounting, as consultants, and so on. As I said, not one specific track, very diverse. Also, our graduates very often work in public administrations and non-governmental organizations. So if you want to study management, it doesn't mean that you have to work in a for-profit corporation. There are many other things that you can also be doing. And also a lot of our graduates have started businesses themselves and are now basically their own boss, right? So this is about the employability. And this kind of concludes my presentation. I put some information here. So I put my email address, the webpage with all the call for enrollment, information about our programs, and also our social media. So we post everything on social media. Recently, we started with our TikTok account that we will be really happy if you go check out and, I don't know, like and share and subscribe. But basically, we're looking forward to any questions, and we're looking forward to seeing you in Koper. Thank you. Okay, so we have one question, if we offer scholarships for international students. The first thing that I would like to say is that due to the bilateral contracts between Slovenia and Croatia, Serbia, Macedonia, students from these countries can study here for free, so they don't have to pay tuition. So what is left is for you to pay for accommodation, food, and other things like that that are required for basically a student studying anywhere. In addition to that, we have a scholarship fund. It's on the university level where you apply based on your grades and your knowledge of foreign languages and so on. So it's merit-based. Not everyone gets it, but it depends on how well you perform in the selection. There is a committee who decides on these applications. Okay, I think that's it for the questions. I would like to thank you again for participating and hope to see you in Koper soon.